This is Stephanie, and welcome to This Is My Circus. Meredith and I are taking this week off, but we wanted to wish you all a very happy new year. We are going to air our first ever full podcast today for you guys. So if you have not heard it already, please enjoy. We will see you guys next Tuesday.
Just pulled in your neighborhood and there's like somebody on a riding lawnmower, just like riding around, not on grass, doesn't no mown lawn, just like chilling, riding.
Welcome to South Carolina.
Are you recording? That's funny. I'm Meredith.
Hey, Stephanie. Welcome to This Is My Circus, where we own our crazy.
Yeah, we do. Put it on the front porch and wave at everybody and they go bye.
Sipping on some sweet tea.
Absolutely. Speaking of sweet tea, I have a funny story.
Okay.
So, kid spent the night at our house last night. Love this child. He will listen to this because I'm going to make him. He's going to know who he is. I have a mini hoop, like kind of right off my kitchen, where the kids play whatever while I'm cooking, and it's great because it keeps them like talking to me. Yeah, mini hoop basketball. Okay. Sorry. So, and they're always like right there, and that's fine. I don't care that, like I said, they're talking to me while I'm cooking or whatever. Well, this morning we had already eaten. The two boys are playing, Jackson, and let's call him Banthony. We're playing basketball. I'm sitting at the kitchen table with like my back to them, and I still had my tea right there, sweet tea. All of a sudden, the ball just hits my tea and goes all over the place. And they didn't even like blink. They're like,
"Oops."
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to the game.
Pretty much.
Swish.
It was pretty much. And they're usually very respectful. Like it's usually, but they were like, "Oh, I blocked your stuff," or whatever. So anyway, sweet tea. That's my life.
Mom life.
Yeah. So what have you been doing? You had lacrosse. Oh, you had a story you were going to tell me about last weekend, right?
Lord have mercy. And any sports parents out there, you've got to know what I'm talking about. So we were at an away game, and the other team was doing some, like, Dylan plays lacrosse.
Right.
And so we're in lacrosse season. So the other team was doing some illegal hits and all
just
that kind
dirty,
of
nasty stuff. I hate
yeah,
that.
me too. So the refs called any little thing that our team did. I mean, questionable calls.
But they were letting the other team do blatant
Oh my
stuff.
God, everything. So one kid got pushed over, and he's an itty bitty little guy. And the defender had to have been like 3 times as big. And so he kept knocking this kid over. But like where it really got me was the kids on the ground. So the kid's on the ground, and the ball is like across on the other end of the field at this point, because it got like flung across to the other end. And this kid's still hitting him with a stick on the ground. And the ref like saw it and walked away.
Oh, that's just poor. That's terrible.
I was livid, and all the parents are like, this kid's still on the ground, like 2 minutes later.
Right.
So.
Oh God. Is he okay?
Yeah, he was fine. But it was just.
That's terrible.
Like, how do you not make a call?
What makes me so mad about that kind of stuff is like these kids just don't do that, right? They're learning it from somewhere.
Yeah.
So what are the coaches encouraging them to do or not do? We've had that issue, especially in football.
Yes.
With my son being a lineman, a lot of times they'll tell him to go for their knees. And I know it's legal, but come on. Like, I hate it. I hate it. Nothing will get me riled up faster. Well, on that note, did y'all win that game?
We did.
Good.
Oh, no, it was tied.
Oh, tied.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we went into overtime, and it was still tied.
Oh, so that it just stops after.
But, so, we were in overtime, and Dylan, like, slipped on the grass, because it was, like, just
just dewy kind of,
yeah. And he slipped, and his foot went over the 50-yard line, and as he was falling, like sliding, and they said that he was offsides and took him out. Took him and one other kid that also was sliding, like falling, and
what school was this? Let me go get, or what location? No, just kidding.
Oh,
beep.
I will put them on blast. I would love to know those refs' names for sure, because I would tell it. Anyway.
Well, on that note, I have a new little gig that I'm very excited about. So I grew up playing softball. Like I played from like the time I was 6 or 7, like all the way through after high school. I played like church leagues and co-ed and stuff, and I loved it. It was great. So now that Jackson is older, and I'm not as involved with, helping with different organizations and that kind of thing. I was like, I need something to do with some of my free time other than just following him around everywhere. So I'm umping for softball. I know. So, okay, I'm just starting with like I know.
Y'all, if you could see my face right now.
So I'm starting with like some of the younger ones. So it's not going to be as intense. Like I really haven't even been trained on it yet. I start this week. It was supposed to be yesterday.
So it's training.
Right. I go to a game with another guy and he shows me what to do.
Just like
it's on the job training.
So like you don't have to like take a class or anything.
No, not for this level.
Okay.
Not for, I think it's 8 and under. And I think, I sound like I know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I think it's just like where they get pitches and I just count the pitches and they get 7. If they hit it, they're good. If they don't, then they're out. So I think I just have to count, which I think I can do that. So we'll see. I don't know. So that starts this week. So I'll have to give you an update next week.
I will pray for you.
My son is like, Mama, I'm like, it's going to be great. And he was like, no, you're just doing, I was like, yeah, but I'm going to be extra. Like, I'm not just going to stand out there. I was like, I'm going to like, rah! He was like, oh God. So yeah, pretty much. Like, what? We're not even doing else. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Girl, you are brave. There are some mean parents.
I hope I don't cry. I hope it's just,
oh my gosh.
I hope it's just an not easy, like I don't mind doing the things, but I hope it's like just, you know what I'm saying?
Not
just like,
ugly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No nasty people, nobody cussing at me or throwing things at me. I'm hoping that it's just like,
my God, will they throw things?
I don't know, but now I'm starting to get nervous because I was like, I got this. I'm just going to wear a little blue shirt and stand right there and count. And now I'm like, oh my God.
And I'm like,
yeah, I'm regretting like all my decisions now.
I did not mean that. I want to keep me updated. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Because we have witnessed some parent reactions.
Well, and I've been a little feisty with some refs and umps before myself. Never cussing but I've been a little loud.
Yeah.
So
I've told a ref that he needed to retire. the one of the refs in our area that really should retire.
Oh, well, we can host the retirement party here on the podcast. Just kidding.
Yes.
No refs allowed. Except for me. What am I thinking? I feel like I need to start running all my decisions by you now.
No. I think this is, you know what? I may come in and watch and podcast from the game.
Oh, a live ep? Ooh, mic me up.
Yeah.
So
have you ever watched the Savannah Banana?
Oh my God, I love them. I'm gonna be like that ump who's out there dancing and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be me.
That's what I'm envisioning.
Or I'm gonna be crying because everybody's just so hateful.
I put like earbuds in my ears and just like
and just count.
And
2, 3, 4, 5.
Like,
okay.
I would have to put like something to block out everything.
I'll listen to us.
My ADHD would be like, girl,
We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm excited to keep us updated on
Absolutely.
that. I would love to hear the outcome.
I will. So, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, what are you reading?
Oh, so
did you read?
I did. I finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal. Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author.
Yes.
And I have read other books that she has written. So when we had quickly mentioned it between us last week, I was like, I've got to read this book.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I loved every minute of that book because I felt like it was unpredictable. Mm-hmm. It kept me guessing like what is going to happen next. And then it got me thinking about like old Hollywood and all of the pieces that, how much of this could have really happened and how much was true. Because it's loosely based on Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
And I mean, who knows? Gosh, she was gorgeous.
She was beautiful.
Purple eyes, violet eyes. Mm. So I thought it was a good read. I could have read like another 1,000 pages of her story.
So, did you hear they're making this into a Netflix movie?
No.
Yes, but I want them to make it into a miniseries where each. Okay, so the book is based off of this old movie star, like
a starlet.
Starlet.
Yeah.
She was married 7 times,
Yes.
and so each of these sections of this book is based off of one of her marriages.
Yes.
And I think, you know, like how they did 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah.
I want them to do that for this.
It's 7.
Yes.
Now, one thing that I really liked about that book itself was that the lady, Monique, interviewing Miss Hugo had her own sub-story going on, and how the interviews with Miss Hugo and everything that she had gone through, or let's call her Evelyn, because we're friends like that.
Yes, we are. We got on that level about
Yes.
second chapter.
But it gave her all the you know, some power and some confidence,
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff to you know, get through some things she was going through. And then I loved at the end of the book, no spoilers, but how things just kind of connected, because I felt like everything was like 2 paths, and then all of a sudden it was just food and everything was together.
Well, I also thought it was really cool that they touched on like cultural issues
Right.
back then,
Right.
where you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
she had to pretend she was, you know, a white woman,
Right.
had to bleach her hair, had to
Right.
you know, bleach her teeth. She had to, you know, put
Right.
on this whole facade just
Yep.
to get bigger movie roles.
And even later in the book, there was another issue where it was, you know, a racial thing, and where things had, quote, had to happen to help protect this, that, and the other. And I was like, dang.
Yeah. So it's still like it
was relevant.
It's still to this day.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really you know, that was insightful for me to see that part of it too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
The struggles that she went through.
What did you picture she looked like? I was picturing like Marilyn Monroe.
No, I don't know what I was picturing. Like a J-Lo, like a Jennifer Lopez.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
because she was
Latin,
Hispanic. She was Hispanic, right?
Cuban, I think.
Cuban, yeah.
And so like I just had like a J-Lo
vibe going on. Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's what I envisioned.
Yeah, I just pictured her like this statuesque, if that's how you say that word, but just this beautiful, carries herself well.
Yeah.
And even there was a part in the book where it was near the beginning when they're meeting each other and the interview's happening, and Evelyn carries Monique, her interviewer's, like her tea for her, and I was just like, so she's got, you know, she's got the physical stuff going on, but that's just grace, you know, just that moment of, here, let me help you out kind of. I thought I'd like to emulate that, you know what I mean? Like, to help people feel comfortable kind of thing.
And those traits aren't like, you don't see that much nowadays.
No, you don't. People
Let me get your water. No.
Can you please hand me my water? No, but you know, I just, you know, have you ever seen that saying, like, straighten somebody's crown without telling the whole world that it was crooked? I love that. Yeah. I love it. Is my crown okay?
It's beautiful.
Oh, look at those roots.
Well, you know.
It is what it is. So what was your favorite part of the book?
Oh, gosh.
Or like what stands out, or maybe not even favorite, but what hits you really hard?
That she had to hide so much of her
personality.
Well, just her personal life. I mean, she was you know, abused by a husband, and just the amount that she went through and hid from the world. And that's a, like, you don't know what's going on in somebody's life.
Absolutely.
You know, she, you know, portrayed herself as like this flawless, my life is perfect.
Right.
And what you don't see behind closed doors makes the person.
Very much presented, everything was together.
Yes.
No hint of whatever abuse or other things that were going on in the background.
So I appreciated her struggle that she shared.
Yeah.
I think the most.
Yeah. I get that.
What did you think?
I thought, I don't know. Let me come back to it.
Okay. Did you listen to this or did you read it?
Both.
Okay.
So I read it first, and then I listened to it on the podcast you recommended, and with just a quick recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that too.
So I listened to.
Did you listen to it first?
I listened to Baking a Murder first.
Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry. So just a quick.
So that's another podcast that I listen to, and they do like a recap of all these books, and I get, as a book lover, I absolutely adore listening to this podcast. So after we had discussed it, and I said, hey, I just listened to this podcast, they were talking about this book, I went and got the audiobook on Libby. Yeah. And I listened to a ton. If y'all aren't part of Libby yet, check it out.
It is so simple. It is so easy. So yeah, it's a little app, and then you just hook your library card to it, and you get audiobooks for free. Can you get regular books on there too?
You can, yeah. Any ebooks, and I mean, there's a ton to choose from. Not everything's on there, but there's enough to get you through a long time. And they add new stuff every week. Yeah. There's new options on there. So cool. Awesome resource. If you like to listen to audiobooks, it's so much cheaper.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you listened to it.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I the girl that did the audiobook was wonderful. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was done great.
Yeah.
Sometimes the audiobook can ruin a book for me.
Absolutely. The
And,
voice or just the way they come across. Yeah.
It's I can get like a chapter in and I'm like, I can't do this.
Right.
And the book might be wonderful, and so that's the only drawback, I guess, of being
it on audio.
Yeah. But it was, I thought it was done wonderfully.
I loved the way that every chapter was named, like you said, after the husband, but it wasn't just like this one's about Frank or whatever. It was like a preface to whatever Frank was.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, stupid Frank, or I don't even remember what they were, but it was catchy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so looking forward to this movie. Who do you think that they should cast?
Well, now that you said J-Lo, but so the book is her being retrospective. So she's looking back over her entire life, and she's what, like 70 or 80 in the actual like present time. So I don't know. J-Lo would be a good one, but like I said, I was picturing like a blonde bombshell type, but I guess they can make J-Lo blonde. I don't know. I have to think about it. Who you got? Anybody in particular?
I don't really know. So for Monique,
I was thinking about who you got.
no, you go first.
So do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
Do you know Maggie?
Uh-huh.
I think she'd be a good.
She would be a good one.
So Monique, who is the interviewer, she's biracial. So I think that a good one would be from Grey's Anatomy, Maggie.
Yeah, I think that would be great too.
Yeah.
What's that girl? Zendaya.
What's that?
I think that's her name. She was in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
I think she would be good too.
Yeah.
As Monique.
Are there enough men in Hollywood to play all of her husbands? I'm sure there are.
Not for a Netflix movie. I mean, there's plenty of guys that are trying to be actors for a Netflix movie.
They could find somebody.
I don't know if they're gonna get like a George Clooney or anybody.
Right. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, it's like Channing Tatum or.
Oh, I was picturing the dude from This Is Us too.
Oh yeah,
He'd
that would be good
for Harry. But in my mind, Harry was fat. But I know he wasn't. I don't even know. But sometimes do you do that? Like you picture him,
and then it's like when you actually see it, like the movie when it comes out, it's like what?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I have to read a book before I watch the movie.
Definitely,
because the book is
always
10
better.
times better. So I'm super excited about this Netflix.
Yeah. Did they say when it's coming out?
They didn't even I think they're starting to cast it now. From what I read.
Are they going to ask us for our recommendations?
Probably not.
Well, if you're watching this, our recommendations are
Netflix. All right. So yeah, that's my take on the book. I think I loved it 100%. I would read it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I liked it too. I liked it a lot. I felt like there was a lot of stuff in there that was still, like we said, still relevant. It was enlightening. And it was a good read. It was an easy read. It was a fun read. It was an emotional read, though.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah. 10. I give it a 10.
I give it a 10 too.
Okay. Cool.
What are you reading next?
Well, so I always on the side got something I'm reading that's like fluff that I can read to fall asleep. Yeah. So I'm still reading this. I love a series, and right now I'm reading like this series that was like I'll have to look up the name for you, but it's like a cast off of another series that was another series, kind of like, so it's like 27 books, which I love. No, it's probably not that many, but I think this one is called, now don't judge me by this, but I think it's called like The Elemental Witch is the name of it. And I'll look up who it's by, but it's, like I said, just, it's fluff. It's easy reads. I don't have to think about what I'm getting next. I can just kind of download the next one and keep moving forward. If it's in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, then I don't have to really think about what to read next. Yeah. But we do need to think about something to read for this, though. Yeah. You got any recommendations right now?
Should we do like a fun book, or should we do like a helping book?
I don't need any help right now. I'm perfect just the way I am.
Well, me too, but
we can think about it and come back to that.
Yeah, let me see what I have on my shelf.
I do have a couple that I'm supposed to be reading for a book club I'm in.
Well, let's come back to this. I think okay, we'll announce our next book next week.
Perfect.
Okay. But that is, if y'all haven't read it, go try it out.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And do Libby.
Yeah, for sure. Save yourself lots of money.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I have subscriptions to Audible, and I have Kindle Unlimited.
Well, the whatever is like X amount of, and you only get like one book or two books. I mean, I do that in a day and a half.
Me too. Yeah.
So anyway,
I know it sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Libby.
What's next? Yeah. You want to talk about our dumb crook story?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What do you want to read it?
Oh, so we decided that we're going to do a dumb crook from every state. So we're starting with South Carolina because that's where we live. But we will be hitting all of your states.
Yes.
And if you know of a dumb crime, let us know.
Please let us know. Please let us know. And I think what we said too is we're going to each bring a story.
Yeah.
And present it and get each other's reaction off of it.
Yeah. Well, we're just got one story for today.
One story for today to get started. Yeah. So we did some research on good old South Carolina.
Well, you know.
Yep.
We got some special.
We didn't have to dig far. No. It was like boom, pop up.
Yeah. Dumb criminal.
Yes. Yeah. What do you want to read it?
You go ahead.
Oh Lord, I didn't bring my reading glasses. I'm just kidding, I got it. Okay, so the article says this was in Hartsville, South Carolina, and this was a few years ago. From WBTV is our source. A 59-year-old man who tried to rob a bank while he was a passenger in a taxi. He's going to spend 6 years in prison. All right. Here's what he did. He was charged with taking a taxi in 2021 to a Hartsville bank and telling the driver to go through drive-through lane. Then he placed the envelope containing a handwritten note demanding money into the tube. The note said he would kill people or blow up the bank if his demands were not met. And the teller just like activated the alarm and the police found the taxi and he was arrested. The driver was not involved.
So I've got a lot of thoughts on this.
What's your first thought? And then I'll tell you mine.
Can you imagine being the taxi driver?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, like, and then your car is like surrounded by police. Like, I'm just envisioning like this,
right.
It's like, dude, just trying to.
He's trying to work his job, right?
And
oh
my God,
yeah.
I would die. Like, I don't know what I would do.
My first thought is this teller. Like, what did her face look like? She's standing there and this note comes through. Like, I just picture like she's having kind of a crappy day and she's not taking anybody's junk. And all of a sudden this comes through and she gives him this look like, and she just like hits the button and calls the cop. Like,
and then ducks.
Yeah, she probably is going to do that. But, you know, when all that's going on, what's the taxi driver's just sitting there like, banging on the steering wheel.
and then he's like, dude, like, why is this taking so long?
Right,
like, right. And then the dude's like, drive.
Right.
Like, I
need more information.
I want a camera inside the taxi.
Right. You're right. Okay, so he passes the note, she hits the thing, and then what's happened? Like, he's like, you didn't get your money, dude. What are we doing here? And he's like, go. Like, you're right. We might need to dig into that a little bit further.
I'm just like, this.
A lot of information.
Yeah. Dude is an idiot.
That's why they're called dumb crooks.
And he was old too. He was 59. He knows better.
He should.
No, but you know
what?
He
knew enough to plead guilty. So he's sentenced to 72 years in federal prison. And then he'll have some court-ordered supervision after that. Probably no more taxis.
Decent. And then, like, my other question is, there's still taxis? It's not like just like Uber?
Wait. You're right. In Hartsville, you've been through Hartsville.
I don't know.
You've been to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Like, on the way to the beach, like, you go through Hartsville.
Yeah.
Like, it's not this big metropolis.
No.
It's probably like Clover. It'd be like seeing a
legit taxi in Clover? No.
Oh my God, where did he get the taxi?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it an Uber? Is it a, like, what kind, like, what is it?
I have more questions now.
Does he have a taxi, like the taxi sign on top of his
I'm
car?
picturing a big yellow car
like,
with the taxi sign on top.
Yeah.
With the number like 333 on the side. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh my gosh.
I got so many questions.
Me too. We'll probably never know the answers.
No, but I would love the interview. I would with that taxi driver be like, dude, like what happened?
Mr. Taxi Driver, if you happen to be listening to This Is My Circus podcast, please reach out and let us know so
we want to know your monkeys.
Yeah. They are not your monkeys. No. You're not responsible.
No, but I mean, I want to know about
your circus.
Do you have a video? Yeah. Of this?
Was there a dash cam?
Please tell us.
Or something? Have you been interviewed? And we need all of this.
Yes. Okay. Well, until we find out more on that one. We're moving on.
We're moving on. And we're going to bring more stories like that, we said, throughout the country. So stay tuned for who's coming next.
Well, maybe it's one of your relatives.
Maybe. Maybe.
And if you have a dumb relative, let us know.
Maybe that should be a different segment. Dumb relatives. That's funny. Well, when okay, switching gears. When I was looking this, trying to dig into some dumb criminal stuff, I saw about this airplane missing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know much about it. I just read the headline and it's like, how does an airplane go missing? Do you have more info than just that?
I only, and it might not even be the same one. So
Okay.
like we might have
How can there be more than one missing?
Oh, there's lots of missing ones.
How?
Like, they disappeared.
They're big. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what you know.
I don't really know a whole lot, which we'll hit on this in the next episode. We'll do a little research, but I saw a video on Facebook. super reliable.
Then this is real. This is real.
But like how you just get sucked into those stupid reels,
Oh, yeah.
and keep scrolling through their videos. And so this dude said that there was a airplane that left the United States and disappeared into thin air. And I don't know, 5-10 years later, there's a call over the radio of a airport that they were checking for clearance to land, and then they were like, wait, what year is it? And they said it's whatever, 2000, whatever, 20, whatever year it was. And they just took back off. They never landed. They just went back into
the atmosphere,
La La Land, wherever but yeah, it's they disappeared.
Is this true?
I don't know. I don't know.
So there was a show a couple years ago called Manifest.
Yes. No. Yeah, but this was somebody doing a legit
Okay, because that's exactly what this. Well,
it was a true crime channel on Facebook.
Wow.
Well, all these shows, right? They've got to come from somewhere.
Have you heard about Tyler Doyle? Have you followed that any? I've been following that a little bit. So that's this guy in I think he's from South Carolina. But South Carolina episode, y'all. I'm just
making
kidding.
us so proud.
I know. Well, but he went missing off the coast of South Carolina while he was duck hunting, I think. This was maybe a month ago or even more.
Leave those poor ducks alone.
Well, there was so much conspiracy about it, why was he by himself and why didn't he call and whatever. But anyway, he went missing and they couldn't find anything. And then 2 days later, and my timeline is wrong, so please don't come at me for that. But they found his waders and then the duck decoys and all this. But as far as I know, they never found him. And people are like, it's his baby mama or wife or whatever. I don't know. Again, don't at me. But I was all sucked into that for a little bit, where is he? And then, of course, all the social media pages that are where is Tyler Doyle and whatever. So I just hope that...
Is this super recent?
This was within the past couple of months. So I don't know. I don't know about that, but I hope he's safe. And if he's gone from this earth, I hope it was peaceful.
And let's save the ducks.
Save the ducks.
Oh my gosh. So when I was in high school, right, in our science class, speaking of ducks, we had to hatch chickens and ducks. And so the other class got chickens and my class got ducks. And if our parents signed off on it, we were allowed to keep whatever hatched. So I talked my dad into letting me keep this duck.
Okay.
Because ducks were my favorite animal ever. And my best friend was in the chicken class. So we get to school after a couple of weeks of the incubator lessons. Our teacher forgot to put water in the incubator over the weekend and killed all of our ducks. Not one duck hatched.
That is traumatizing.
Right? And I'm what the heck, super.
So did it was it just straight heat then? Is that what
happened?
And
it cooked the ducks and the eggs. It was awful. But the chickens lived. And so my best friend, Alicia, hey girl, hope you're listening.
Hey Alicia.
They got chickens and so then she felt bad. My duck died, and so she made me the chicken's godmother.
Oh, that's adorable.
And then the chicken grew and got mean, and so she brought it to a farm
where he lived happily ever after
to live out his roostery mean life.
Yeah, roosters can be mean.
She is awesome. So she also had a snapping turtle, and that snapping turtle used to watch us sleep. It was our Mr. Snappy was our stalker.
Mr. Snappy.
That was
real creative with the names.
That was
what was the chicken's name?
Oh God, I can't even remember.
She should have named the chicken Duck.
Oh, that would have been good. It would have been sad though every time I.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I would have been a little sad. But
that's traumatizing though. How were you high school?
Yeah, it was junior year.
Yeah. No. When I was in I don't remember what grade, but before high school, went to a field trip to a chicken farm. And now in retrospect, those chickens were miserable. They're all just like crowded in. Is that the right word? Chicken farm? I don't know. Where they've got them all in like a greenhouse looking thing. I guess it's a chicken coop. I'm not. I don't know. But they were all just like right on top of each other. And it was, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. I mean.
Did you see like the place across the street from my neighborhood that has like the alpacas and goats? And it's like this whole little tiny farm.
No.
And I told Dylan, I'm like, I want to pet an alpaca so bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, that's the thing I'm going to get arrested for. Like, is like pulling over to the side and
pet the alpaca.
And like jumping over the fence.
Are they mean?
I don't know. I don't know, but I it reminds me of llamas. And Dylan's favorite book when he was a baby was Llama Llama Red Pajama. And
yeah,
I'm like, I need to pet this.
For some reason, I'm thinking like they're related to camels, and camels can be mean.
Camels are very like they spit at
and
you.
they spit at you.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about? Did you go to the St. Patrick's Day thing yesterday?
I did not. I was so Brandon said that if I can get the shed cleaned out, that we can convert it into a office / studio for us. And so I spent my day.
Do I need to come over and help sometime?
Oh, we can decorate.
Okay.
We can do like a Target run. But so we spent all day trying to get everything out of there and boxed up to ship.
Wow.
So that was my whole day yesterday.
Oh, are you sore?
No, I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
And
sure.
it's one step closer to having our like
studio.
super fun girly space.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like super girly.
Right.
But I don't want like Nerf guns on the wall. Which is Dylan's whole Nerf collection is out there.
Is it?
On the wall.
We can just hang like a sheet up and cover it all up.
And I have like a mini fridge out there with beverages.
Mini fridges are nice though. Mini fridges are great. I always tell Brian I want one in my nightstand. Oh. And he's like, so our master bedroom is downstairs. And he's like, it's 30 feet to the kitchen. You can get up and go get something to drink. I'm like, you don't understand.
It's
like,
just the point.
Right there. Covered in like wood. Like, you know, like the fridges that are kind of inset. Whatever. It's a great idea. TM, don't take it. Unless it already exists, and then I'm not meaning to copyright you. So we went to the St. Patrick's Day thing yesterday since my umpiring gig got canceled because it rained. Whatever. It was pretty fun. It was fun. I mean, it was windy and cold and then sunny. You know, this time of year it's like whatever you get. But it was fun.
Yes, Mother Nature.
Yeah.
She needs to pick a lane.
Figure it out. Yeah. But then like Friday it's supposed to be 81 here, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for it to get too hot, but I'm ready for
like 70. I want 70.
Consistent 70.
Yeah.
I'm down.
With a little breeze, not wind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we were there for like 4 or 5 hours yesterday. I'm so out of shape. I got out. So we went, we walked around, we did all the things, had a good time, saw a ton of people I knew, which was so much fun. I like to do that. Brian's always like, are you politicking? And I'm like, no, I'm just talking to people, which I like to do. So
you don't get to see everybody very often.
Right. I think you usually don't let me out of the house.
Yeah.
So I was, I got out of the truck when we got home and I could like barely walk. No, I did wear these shoes because it was kind of yucky in the morning. So I wore some shoes that were kind of rain bootish. They weren't like great. And I was like, Brian was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't think so. Like I'm sore from walking around in these rain boots. My galoshes. But anyway, I think I need to start walking some more.
Oh, well, I take Rex. Like I think it totals out to be almost 4 miles a day.
Good for you.
So it's like one walk in the morning, one walk in the afternoon.
You have a great area to walk though.
People in this neighborhood drive like crazy. Like
and the lawnmowers.
You got Dodge lawnmowers.
I mean, there's a lot going on.
So we've got the lawnmower riders. We've got the kids on like their motor whatevers, their 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, mini bikes, whatever that like
I have a motorized scooter.
Do you?
I do.
Ooh.
Like when you stand up on and ride.
Have you ever tried to ride a hoverboard?
No, have you?
I haven't. It didn't go well. Have you ever seen those videos on Facebook where people are like flailing?
Was that you?
Oh, that was totally me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not good at that at all.
So there's a lot going on in the neighborhood when you walk.
Yeah, and like so you got like all these kids and other people walking dog and like,
how dare they?
No, but like,
I'm just kidding.
There's this dude, and I hope he hears this because he's a butthead. But he's got like 2 like bigger, mean-looking dogs, like, that are very aggressive towards anyone and everything. And, like, dude isn't a big guy. Like, he's not, like, a big guy. Like,
burly, whatever.
So these dogs, anytime they see a child, they see another person, they see another dog, they go bananas and, like, lunging and barking. And
that's scary.
Like, and then, so this one is super protective of me. And he was like, then he starts going, and you know, he's 110 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I'm, you know, trying to pulling him back. But this guy, and he just, like, laughs. Like, he thinks it's funny. And I'm like, dude, like,
somebody's going to get hurt someday. Yeah. That's what scares me.
Like, the dogs lunge at, like, kids on bicycles.
Right. That's not cool. Dude, that's not cool.
No.
Don't do that with your dogs anymore.
You should not walk your dogs.
Right.
In the public place. My 2 cents.
Get them some home training. Like I said, my puppy, well, he's not a puppy, he's almost 2. I know he's terrible. So I just don't let him do too much.
Yeah.
But you got to know your limits.
Yeah.
So the St. Patrick's Day thing was fun. I am not sore anymore. I've recovered. But we hung out with some new friends that we're kind of making. So that's, you know, your friend circle, is it like this for you? Probably, because that's how we met. It's like through your kids.
Yeah.
Right. It's other, whatever your kids are into, it's their parents and
outside friends.
Yeah.
That are not
like related
friends.
to sports in some way. So this is some friends we've been hanging out with, and they're a lot of fun. But you know, it's just hard to make friends as an adult.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah. And like, I hate to say this, but like, don't you feel like ever since like COVID, like people have gotten like mean, and I don't know. I'm not a people-y person.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, and you're right, that might be the timeline. Since that point, like everything is, and maybe it's just me getting older, I feel like everything is political, or everything is about, you know, nothing is just, I don't even know how to say it anymore.
Not fun.
Right. And maybe that's it. Like when you're a kid, you make friends, you're like, hey, you want to play tag? And they say yes, and you run. Like that's it. And now it's like, well, you know, I don't like them because of this, or I can't vibe with them because they believe this. Like, let's just have friends.
So and I don't know, like I've never, like when we were in middle school, we didn't talk about politics. Like we didn't know, like we had like a goofy, like, you know, in school election, like whatever, like, but nobody knew anything about politics.
No.
And Dylan came home during like the last election, and he like said that like his friends are arguing, and I'm like, dude, like why do you guys like, why are you even like talking to like do you not have other things to talk about?
Right.
And so my advice to Dylan was you don't talk religion, you don't talk politics, and you don't talk about Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Those are three
Those
topics that you don't
I would add to that also, don't talk about money.
Yeah.
Either way it goes, whether you have it or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I agree. Like I remember being in high school, and you know, you learn about the whatever, and we did the mock, okay, all you are this and all you guys are this, and let's, you know, vote
debate,
and whatever, and debate and all that fun stuff. But you're right, now it's so weird. So
but like for kids to be arguing, like literally arguing and getting into fights about it, and like
now that you say that, like my niece who's a senior in high school, she has actually lost some friends because of different beliefs and whatever, and I'm like,
dude, I didn't, like when I was in high school, I shouldn't say this because Dylan might hear this one day, but like all we were worried about was who's having the next party.
Right.
I mean,
or hanging out, or where are we going, or where's the football game, or where's, I know.
There was no like discussion
right. And it's like you want them to be educated and to be involved and to make decisions, you know, use their brain, but at the same time, it's just part of the whole thing where everybody thinks they're right, and you can't even have a conversation,
and you can't be friends with somebody that doesn't believe the same exact thing that you do.
That's
like
crazy.
And that's what I told Dylan. I'm like, you know, like everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
Everybody is entitled, and you don't have to school people on what your opinion is. Like you can just say, okay, cool, that's your opinion, then walk away.
Right.
Like, there doesn't need to be I'm right, you're wrong, all
like
the
a
time.
whole conversation. Right.
Yeah.
Nobody has to win every conversation.
You believe what you believe.
Right. You can have a conversation, and then just walk away and still be friends.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So, it's hard making new friends, but it was fun yesterday with these.
Where do you even go meet new people?
Well,
I don't even know. I don't leave my house.
So
that could be part of my problem.
Well, So these new people were hanging out. They're already kind of like a friend group, and we were kind of invited into the friend group with it's Jackson's girlfriend's parents.
Oh.
And so we're hanging out with them a little bit, and then one of the other people in the group knows Brian. They used to work together, so he's got kind of a connection, because that's the other thing too, right? Finding somebody you and your husband
Yes.
and then your kid, like, oh my god, forget it.
Yeah.
So he gets along with the dudes, and I like the moms, and the dudes are nice, and it's just a good mix. But I mean, they're 13 and they're not going to be friends for or they're not going to be dating forever, so
That'll be a little awkward.
it will be a little awkward, but we'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
So how do you feel about him having a girlfriend?
I'm okay with it. She's really adorable. He's had a couple little girlfriends before, but nobody that I think he's really, as he's getting older, right. But she's very busy too. She plays school soccer and competitive soccer. So she's, really tied up with that, because Jackson's really busy too. And her parents are, they're good people. They, have requirements for her grades and behavior and all that kind of stuff. So because she's so busy and we're so busy, it works out.
Yeah.
But I could see where, like, it's going to be hard. Like, he's my heart, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
How about, does Dylan have a lady in his life right now?
He does.
Okay.
She lives in our neighborhood.
Oh.
Like one street over.
Oh, that's a little too convenient.
Oh Lord. But she is like such a sweet girl. Like I really do think
that's good.
She's like a nice, genuinely sweet girl.
Those are the craziest, that.
Stop that. But they go over each other's houses,
hang out.
and there's not a lot you can do when you don't have a license, and
Yeah.
you have to depend on your parents.
Right.
But she goes to his lacrosse game. She came to the game in Fort Mill.
Oh.
She had her mom drive her the 40 whatever minutes to go
That's
watch
commitment.
his game. I know Brandon was like, dang, she must really like you to drive. But I mean, I met her mom. Her mom's really nice.
Good. Was Dylan like, yeah, I got that Riz? Isn't that what they say now?
He was just like,
Whatever.
yeah. They have to do their, picture for whichever social media platform they're posting on. But she is so cute, and she's a really,
sweet girl.
Really sweet girl.
Yeah, that's good.
So every night they're FaceTime each other every night.
I could not. Could you imagine, like, always having to have, like, be ready to FaceTime somebody?
No. But you know what? Like, when I was like that age, I didn't really care. Like,
yeah, I guess you're right.
You're young.
I
like,
didn't need all the things that I need now to make me presentable. I was cute without anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not anymore. And I would not want to have to be on all the time.
In other words, don't FaceTime us. We'll FaceTime you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll just do the audio.
Yeah.
I
There
turn
you
off
go.
the video.
There you go. Oh, I feel like I was going to tell you something else, but I can't think of what it is. I don't know. Oh, well. It's okay.
Anything else coming up?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Me and Dylan are supposed to do a movie night tonight.
Are you? What are you going to watch?
I don't really know. I think maybe the newest Jurassic Park that came out. 'Cause I
Okay.
haven't seen it yet. He did. But,
Yeah.
we've got the projector upstairs.
Nice.
It's nothing fancy.
Right.
It was like Amazon, you plug in your whatever, and it.
Do you have good sound up there too? Because the sound makes it too.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's like okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's better than just watching it on like a
Right,
regular
right.
TV. It's the whole entire wall.
There's always something when you turn surround sound on when it goes from like the regular TV. Like if you're watching a game, or like my husband likes racing.
Yeah.
Ugh. But the first time it clicks on and it's just like, rah, rah, and it's like, oh my God, so freaking loud.
Yeah.
I know. I can't say it.
So if he doesn't ditch me to go to the field to play lacrosse, we might do that later.
And you can't really complain with him wanting to get outside. And
I know. He's thank God such a good kid.
yeah, I feel you there.
He's got his moments. Don't get me wrong.
We all do.
But
Yeah.
compared to what I was doing at that age, we won't talk about those things because my mom might listen.
You better listen.
So my brother and sister, I was the baby. And so they're like, she never got in trouble. And I'm like, listen, I just learned from all of y'all's mistakes.
Absolutely.
And didn't get caught.
Right.
So.
Right. And
it's not
mom
my
was
fault.
probably exhausted by that point and was just like, oh, she's fine.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're I'm the baby.
Are you?
But I have one sister.
No.
Mhm.
So like Brandon and I talk about this, like about traits of like, because he's
the
an
birth
only
order.
child. Yeah,
Okay.
he's an only child, and I am the youngest.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had to like fight for everything.
Right.
Like, and he's like, "This is what is so wrong with you?" Because
Oh, that's the one thing. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, "Well, you never had to argue with anybody because you were the only
Right.
child. Like you didn't have that like sibling like
To prove,
Yeah.
or yeah,
And I had to compete against 3 others.
yeah.
Like, right when Nintendo came out, and like, so we had like, the Nintendo, like the original Nintendo
Yeah.
with like Duck Hunt,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Save the ducks.
Save the ducks. Put water in the incubators.
This has been a duck show.
It has been.
But,
What the duck?
So like, I never got a turn, because like by the time it was my turn, then there
Was it
like
bedtime
no,
or
like
whatever?
they just were like, oh, well, I'm gonna play again. Like when you're the youngest and like you're like 7, 8 years old, like you don't get a say. So that Christmas, the Christmas that Game Boy came out,
Okay.
I got a Game Boy, and my mom was like, she doesn't have to share with any of you.
Oh, that was sweet. That was a good
got my
idea.
own.
That was a sweet idea.
So like if you had to take a road trip, I'm just back there.
You're back there
on
playing.
my, black and white screen.
Oh God! And now it's like pick up your phone
Yeah.
and do whatever. It's
So
crazy.
yeah,
You showed them though.
I did.
That Game Boy.
Yep. Dang siblings. I love all of you.
We love you though.
Now.
We love you
Now.
now.
Yeah.
Mhm. More now than then.
Yes. I mean, I love them too then, but they weren't very nice.
I loved them, but didn't like.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'd steal her clothes. We have trauma from that.
Well, Brandon gets so mad if like anybody wears his socks. Like he never had to share anything, and I'm like, dude, like clothes would be missing for like months. Like my sister would lend them out to her. Like we were all the same size, like pretty much, and so like we would be missing clothes for months, and then they all of a sudden they would just like reappear. So like I have no like issues. Like if I can't find something, I'm like, whatever. And he's like, oh my God.
Oh my, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
The dynamics of an only child versus
I could see that.
siblings.
I could see that. Well, I am the baby. Brian is the oldest of his siblings, and then Jackson is an only. So I don't even know where to go with that. I don't even know where to go with that. So best of luck to us.
Yeah. Well,
anything else?
I think that's all that's going on with me. Next week we will have a new book to talk about.
We will have a new book to talk about.
We will have a great new story for Dumb Crimes.
We will, and then I'll give you my umpire
Oh
update,
my gosh, I cannot wait.
Hopefully it won't make me cry.
Yeah. And maybe, we'll touch on maybe some work-life balance, what we can do for work-life balance.
Yeah, I need some help with that.
Me too. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Sorry for this lighting.
It's our radiance.
If you're watching the video version of this. So, all right, guys. Well, we will see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.